obesity problem is getting worse, with a new report suggesting more than half the population will be obese by 2040. That's 10 years earlier than previously predicted. Health experts are calling for urgent action to tackle the problem. Among their recommendations, calls for family doctors to be more proactive, giving patients who are overweight tips about dieting and exercise, and routine checks of children's weight and height and the waist circumference of adults. The report also calls for hard-hitting obesity awareness campaigns, similar to those for smoking.
The government, I think, has to get tough with the health professionals who, in our view, need a lot of help in order to introduce weight to their patients, and maybe every time they see their patients, start to get their waist measurements to make sure that they're not exceeding the prescribed limit of waist measurement, and with their children, start to monitor their children properly. And we've seen recently girls of 10 who weigh 23 stone. Now, that is a disgrace. It means that the health services and social services have not been looking carefully enough at the increased weight of our children and flagging them up and saying, look, we've got to do something about this before it becomes a real tragedy.
Sky's Adele Robinson is in Birmingham. Adele, good afternoon. Is there any easy answer as to why this problem seems to be getting worse?
Yes, well, speaking to people here, there's various different reasons for different patients, but the overriding answer that I got from one doctor here was that this is potentially a cultural thing. Many people not just doing enough exercise, going for the cheaper food. Now, we're here at one of the UK's largest obesity clinics. They treat hundreds of patients here every year. Not only do they refer patients from here for gastric band operations, but they also tailor-make individual programmes. This is one of the nursing rooms that patients will first come into when they get here. This is a wheelchair scale. It can take up to around 55 stone. Now, when patients come in here, they're measured their height and their weight, and then they come through to the corridor outside here, where they are brought into other rooms, doctor consulting rooms. If I just go into one, I can show you. We'll speak to Dr. Reggie John in a moment. We've got a bariatric couch, and then the larger seats here as well for patients. Dr. Reggie John, thank you very much for letting us come in today. First of all, what are your patients telling you? Why is this happening? Why are things not improving? Why are they overweight?
Well, it's a very difficult question to answer in one sentence, I must say. Basically, I think the obesity has been increasing exponentially in the last 20 to 25 years, and mainly it's because of lifestyle habits, I must say, poor diet and lack of exercise. And this starts right from childhood. If you look at the children these days, they are playing more on computer games and video games rather than going outdoors. So less activity and eating more unhealthy food, I must say.
Would you say partly because it's cheaper food as well, that because of austerity, they just can't afford to go for the healthy foods?
Many times it's probably because they are cheap, but more importantly, they are easy to grab. They're fast food, they are easily out there, you can grab it anytime, and then children just like it and get sort of addicted to it. So it could be burgers, it could be fries, it could be crisps, it could be anything which they can easily get their hands onto, and which are high-calorie stuff. And equally, they go on to fizzy drinks, which are again high in sugar, high in calories. So all these things contribute to, and very little exercise.
Would you say that doctors are doing enough? Are they being too sensitive? Should they be more blunt when overweight people come in, that they need to tell them what their situation is, get them to take action quicker?
Yes, I mean, I think we need to tell them what to do, but at the same time, it's a very sensitive issue. So we got to be very gentle with them, how we deal with them. So we got to explain to the patient what to do, how to change their habits, how to improve their lifestyle, and the negative impact it can have on their life. So, but at the same time, we got to be supportive of the patient, because otherwise it can be very detrimental for the doctor-patient relationship and for the patient's health in general.
Okay, thank you very much. So getting a balance really then. So thank you very much for your time. The pressure really is on for the government now. There are already calls to tax sugar and fats on various foods, but also we're hearing today that Lidl has announced it's going to be moving chocolates and sweets away from its checkout aisles in a bid to help reduce this so-called pester power on parents from their children wanting these sweet things. And of course that's going to increase pressure for other supermarkets to follow the same suit.
Adele, thank you.